我命令全军各级要强化练兵备战鲜明导向，坚定不移把军事训练摆在战略位置，作为中心工作，抓住不放，抓出成效。要坚持领导带头，以上率下，坚持实战实训，连战连训，坚持按纲施训。
Mid-American Patriot. Get some.
Conquering your surroundings is the first step to dominance. Being able to create environments out of nearby materials is superior dominance. Taking that philosophy one step further and planting a spaceship on the other side of the moon and doing a soft landing, well, how good is your Mandarin? We have one man to thank for this, and just like the specter of yesteryear, his name rhymes with Osama. But this guy cut the space shuttle program, and now, Patriots, we need to talk about China. Some leftist ideologues bear such vitriol for people, places, or things that they will take bizarre measures to destroy them. This was the case for President Obama. Cash for Clunkers comes to mind, where his mandate to destroy affordable cars for low-income families by using acid in the manifold to kill the cars is one glaring example. Another example was then offering a $7,000 tax break for electric golf carts. This is the same mentality used by Obama in the United States when he crippled the space shuttle program. The next thing you know, our astronauts are hitching rides to the space station from Kazakhstan. Now, I'm sure Kazakhstan is a nice place, but I would never buy a car from there. And I sure as hell would not strap a rocket made from Kazakhstan onto my ass and shoot for space. No offense, but no. Hell no. China, however, has a dominant space administration who not only landed on the moon, but landed on the far side of the moon. Senior research fellow and China expert at the Heritage Foundation in Washington, D.C., Dean Chang, stated that in some ways, the U.S. has fallen behind China. You cannot be more glaring in your deficiency than having lost the ability to put a person into space. China is able to do this. Currently, the U.S. is not. Here's the breakdown in a nutshell. What this accomplishment shows is dominance. China has been an empire for more than 5,000 years. Now the communists rule the day. However, as a nation, China acts as an empire does. For years, the Chinese focus has been inward. Now, as predicted in the 90s by a friend of mine who was the rank of colonel in the U.S. military, China is starting to look outward. Asserting its dominance at sea and in space, it happily and dutifully took Hong Kong back after a 99-year lease expired from Britain. They had their own ruling government in Hong Kong, their own culture in Hong Kong, and that stopped instantly with the conclusion of a 99-year agreement. Were they allowed to continue to govern on their own? No way in hell. Now China is looking outward, and that includes from here to the moon and everything in between. On the terrestrial front, something is up, and it has been for some time. Since 1978, China's expenditure on the military has been on the rise from almost $11.5 billion in 1989, ballooning to over $228 billion in 2017. So not only have they built a super rocket that can make it to the moon and back, but they have also been building islands in the middle of the South China Sea, and consistently have been ramping up their military. And let's not forget, Beijing and Moscow are friendly. Now, for the fourth time, Xi Jinping tells his people to prepare for war. China has a master plan for war, and the United States is in the crosshairs for that war. As China and its 2 million-man military, the People's Liberation Army, prepare for this war, their military technology R&D has been severely ramped up in recent years that rival that of the United States and Russia, and the amount that they are producing is also on the increase. No longer are the days of the J-6 fighter jet that's based on the 1956 Russian design. The J-20, China's first stealth fighter jet, is comparable to the United States' fifth-generation F-22 fighters. With more than 2,700 aircraft, 2,000 of which are combat aircraft, which include strategic bombers and fighters, China holds the distinction of having the third largest air force in the world. They have radically increased the size of their navy, possessing 72 frigates and destroyers, including its first aircraft carrier, their Type 001A. Add to the mix of the strategically placed military base on the Horn of Africa in Djibouti, nestled between the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. Then there's China's new compact over-the-horizon radar, which allows the Chinese Navy to locate incoming threats from aircraft, missiles, and naval opponents in an area about the size of India. Of course, for those who have been watching China over the past 4 decades, they can tell you that China's vision was shifting outward. China has proved that not only it can tame the ocean, but it can create new islands and plant military units on those islands. Military exercises are on the rise. Last year, China held 18,000 military exercises in which 2 million people participated. Their Navy carried out a ballistic missile flight test in the Yellow Sea last November, although its range was only 5,600 miles. The U.S. Triton II has a range of 7,500 miles. Xi Jinping gave his army their first order of 2019, prepare for war. All military units must correctly understand major national security and development trends and strengthen their sense of unexpected hardship, crisis, and battle. China's armed forces must prepare for a comprehensive military struggle from a new starting point. Preparation for war and combat must be deepened to ensure an efficient response in times of emergency. China is also beginning the beat of empire building. We know that they have collected what was legally theirs in the case of Hong Kong, but what about Xi's call to Taipei to reunify with China? North Korea is also in the news and would be a happy ally in aggression against the interests of the U.S., such as the case with South Korea. But it appears an alliance is coming together, a new axis of evil. We may be entering a new space race, arms race, and Cold War. More than ever, we must come together and support our president. As strongmen in Asia and Eastern Europe are showing their hand in military might and space dominance, we too must support our strongman at the world table. President Trump is a strong negotiator and a powerful leader. As you lay your head down tonight on your pillow, who would you rather be at the table of fierce men? A woman like Hillary Clinton or Elizabeth Warren?
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna get me a beer.
Don't be beguiled by the tricks of the left. Do you remember the treatment of Barack Obama by Putin? And he was a man. Not much of a man, but still a man. What is needed, at least for the foreseeable future, is the dominant touch of a man. If we allow a woman like Warren or Clinton to be president, we will suffer the same fate as Germany and the Swedes, which is a gyno-centered government who has initiated the elimination of their own cultures through the invitation of dominant male-centered cultures with the ambition of conquest. Patriots, it is your duty to know and understand the facts and to make your fellow neighbor patriots aware of the tenets you know to be true. Read your Constitution at least once a month. Engage your community. Stand up for your beliefs and for what you know to be right. Don't be ashamed or shamed by anybody for who you are or the race you happen to be. Stay strong. Stay vigilant. Cling to God as you cling to your guns. Excelsior!
Mid-American Patriot. Get some.